Welcome back to the question and answer session here with Humech and HeyItsNick. We talked about in the previous episode about the Mustang Alpha, the kind of new player experience push that CIG seems to be doing, and the FPS patch that is 3.17.2. If you missed that, you want to enjoy it, be right above Humech's head right there will be the link. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're listening to this on the podcast form, which should be the previous episode. And I will say this again, if you're watching this, this is the second, well, I guess third video, but the second Captain's Table video that's been gone up on the new channel. So make sure that you are already subscribed because we are now on the AstroPub Live. So yeah, just hit that subscribe button if you enjoy the Captain's Table stuff, because that will be ensure that the best way of you getting your information, getting the videos to your feed. So do that. And without further ado, let's do these questions. Now, these questions are all questions asked by the chat. So if you want to ask questions, join us live, twitch.tv/TheAstroPub. So to join us for these live Q&A sessions, and you can ask questions yourself to whoever we have. And we have a chocker-blocked schedule coming up as well, because next week we might have 2 Captain's Tables. That's right.
Ooh.
2 Captain's Tables. Yeah.
2 for...
One on Wednesday and one on Saturday, if things can work out. And then the week after that, we're also going to have 2 Captain's Tables, one on Wednesday and one on Saturday. So
you got things cooking up in the pot.
Yes.
over here.
It's my summer, so I actually have time during the week. So I can like pull people who are like, hey, yeah, I'm in, ungodly time zone compared to you. So it's 2 a.m. when I'm when it's noon your time. So working out some schedules and stuff like that. And so we've got more stuff for y'all to check it out. So make sure you're subscribed. That's the only way you can do that. So, all right. The AstroPub Live, that sounds familiar. It's all one word, AstroPub Live there, Fast Cart. So, with that being said, let's get these questions started. The first question is from Ferric Veer, who asks, how is everyone doing today?
Excellent.
Very well. I had a really good big breakfast. I had some eggs. I had blueberry pancakes, all ordered through Uber Eats from a small little local diner. Very beautifully done. I got 2 coffees for myself, so I was very well caffeinated. Very well morning for a very good day.
Yeah. We finished our season 1 of our Warhammer 40K tabletop RPG broadcast just before this, and I was able to hit the cast with a reveal that none of them were seeing for the full run, and they're just like, what, and they didn't see the twist at all. I'm just like, yes,
I love it.
It's like no one guessed what was going to happen.
Yeah, so I'm doing good. Thank you, Ferric. The next question comes from Minty Fizz, who asks, now that we know that the dashboard bobbleheads are coming in, what do you want in your ship dashboard? Yeah, for those of you who don't know, we're getting dashboard bobbleheads as a subscriber for next month. Yeah, for this month.
Man, I need to subscribe next month then.
Yeah,
Pico. I want a little Pico.
We need Pico. We need Finley, and we need
a Van Duel one.
Well, we definitely need
Chibi Van Duel.
We also need a what are they called? The Star Kitten. We need Star Kitten.
Oh, Star Kitten.
Yeah. Yes.
Or we need like a bobblehead of each alien race of a Banu, a Xi'an, and a Tavaran. I would like a green, yellow, like conure looking one, so I can have one that's like my parrot.
A Jared bobblehead, yes, please. That'll be the generic human. Is Jared?
Jared. Yes.
Please.
Gosh, who wants to? Would you need? I'd love to see like.
He would hate that.
Yeah, he would hate that, which is why it needs to happen. I'd love to see like a Admiral Bishop bobblehead or whatever. Those like some lore figures would be nice.
Yeah.
But Jared in a construction outfit, yeah. Next question comes from Midnight Black SC, who asks, the platforms in the Siege of Orison look like they've been through hell with the crap scattered all around. What are they going to do with these platforms when the event isn't going on? Do you think they made more pristine versions, or are they going to leave the battle damage versions in with when nothing is going on? It's a good question. What do you
I
think?
imagine they'd be cleaned up.
I would kind of like to see it just like as an open PvP zone so that player orgs can just, go in and fight combat there. I think that would be cool. And maybe just like, maybe NPCs don't spawn there, but like, I think it would just be a good backdrop for PvP org events. And so I would like it to just be like an open PvP zone after the event, just so that and maybe just have high end loot that spawns there. Just something for where you can go into high end FPS PvP and then just have that awesome combat backdrop year round. I think it would be cool. I'm not sure if they're going to stay like that, but I wouldn't put it out of the past if they're thinking of doing something dynamically with that area as well.
Yeah, I'd like to see something like that happen just in general, like a location that's high value that you can go there that encourages PvP. Like a Jump Town esque, but not drugs, but like gear, like a place where you can go to find good stuff for that.
If they make rail guns.
Yeah.
A shipyard. This could be some sort of like place where high value cargo is frequently running through there. And if you're a pirate, you could go and loot from perhaps Orison themselves. Because the way I'm seeing this is Crusader is not going to let their pristine city be a mess after this event. Just for lore reasons. I don't think that they would fly with that. But it could become something that is more for the criminal players to come in and raid. That's my envisioning of it.
Place to fight over. There's this like a giant like warehouse. But I like the idea. I think that's a good idea. But I don't think I think they'll clean it up. I'd like to see it cleaned up, but we'll see. So
somewhere that needs to happen though, or it could be just another floating platform on the planet. It's huge, so it doesn't have to be at Orison.
It's true. Just a place where you just go land it and chill out. I think it's just going to be really. If they just leave it the way it is right now, in a place where you just PvP at, I'd be okay with that. But I'm open to whatever they do with it.
It would be fun.
I'm just excited for the event. I'm excited for the event. I don't care what they do afterwards. They can do whatever they want. I am so excited for the event.
The event's gonna be great. I just want to. The big thing I want them to do is to leave it in there because they've got that boxing ring in there, and I want to see boxing. I want to see players boxing in the boxing ring.
Fisticuffs.
Yeah.
Force fisticuffs when you get in the boxing ring.
Yeah. Next question comes from Fastguard, who asks, with all the times I've nearly gotten Paul suspended or banned, how much are you looking forward to being on Soul Citizens tomorrow? That's a good plug. I was going to plug it towards the end of this, but thank you, Fastcart. I'm going to be on Soul Citizens tomorrow with Fastcart and Griffin and a bunch of other folks, and we're going to be talking about the best ship manufacturer in the verse, Drake.
Oh, so here's the Origin.
No. Yeah.
I am in an Origin ship, and I don't even agree.
So I'm going to be convincing you. So you should be watching that. Twitch.tv/Soul Citizens to watch that live tomorrow at, I believe, 7 p.m. Eastern, I want to say. 7 p.m. Central. Fastcart to correct me. 8 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. Eastern. So check that out.
I'll be there.
And if you're watching this in the after fact, you probably won't be able to, but you can still check it out on Soul Citizens, youtube.com/Soul Citizens. All right. HeyItsNick asks, can I ask myself a question? Yes, you can ask yourself a question.
Awesome. Okay.
We did it. There we go.
That's it.
It's done. All right. Steve B. Dancer asks, right now, claiming a ship is free, and we know that 318 salvage is coming. How does CIG make it unprofitable to salvage your own ship, or giving the ship to another person to salvage it? That's a good question. Nick, what do you think?
Can you repeat the question again? It was specifically the new reclaimer derelicts?
Well, so right now, claiming a ship is free. And we know that in 318, salvage is coming. What does CIG make, or how does CIG make it unprofitable to salvage your own ship or giving their ship to another person to salvage it?
That's I would need to be CIG to know what they're going to be doing with that, and I am not CIG. Well, I would feel like they could do many different things outside of. I believe we're just going to be getting the material back and repairing it.
Mm.
So outside of just getting the material in your inventory to repair ships, it's you're not really going to be making profit of it that much out of it. I would assume, unless you're using specifically a salvage, but. I think that's an edge case that CIG will definitely need to test out and figure out for 318. If they're going to do that for 318, it might not make it in for 318 if they haven't thought about that already. But I immediately for the first release of 318, I don't see that really happening of them fixing or being a workaround until they fully rework the insurance system.
Mm-hmm. Humech, what do you think?
If it is profitable and if there is no fix ahead of time, enjoy the gold rush. But until then, I would say they will put in some sort of thing. Perhaps your own ship or anyone affiliated with you is not going to be valuable for whatever reason. That wouldn't make any sense either, though you should be able to sell your own scrap. But I totally see this being an exploitation bug. I'm really curious to see what they will do about it, because increased claim times and costs would suck in so many ways. So perhaps they'll just figure not everyone's going to do this, so it's not really a big deal. I don't know, but that's a really good question, and I hope that CIG has a good answer.
I mean, I think the basic answer is time, and I think the answer is they've been wanting to increase claim timers for years. I remember when they did the.
This is a justification for that, so it could.
Good, Nick.
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea to increase claim timers, because then if you salvage, say, an 890, but then you got to wait hours upon hours to even attempt to salvage that 890 again, would it even be profitable to just claim, salvage, and commit insurance fraud?
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, it wouldn't be profitable.
Yeah, I think you also got to remember that salvage is going to require processing, just like mining. So, and the first version we're getting. Yeah, and it's going to be time consuming. Like stripping a ship completely is going to take time. And I don't think it'll be very profitable when it first comes out. It'll be fun, but it'll be kind of like refueling is right now, where you can take your Starfarer out and you can refuel other ships, but it's just, you're not going to make a ton of money doing it because A, there's no call for it for NPCs, and B, there's no real reason for it for players to use that sort of service. So,
and if you're going to be salvaging in components, if you're thinking of remonting that, you're just salvaging the components you already own. You're not adding new components. Those are components you already own. They're just on the new ship. So, outside of just stripping the hull, you're just going to be. You can only sell those components once until you don't have those components to put on your new ship. So, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of merit to doing that at all in the first place.
They could also add a increasing timer. So like you claim a ship, it takes 40 seconds to come back. The next time you claim it, it's now a minute. Next time you claim it,
it's been within like a half hour or something like that.
Yeah,
it just keeps adding to it.
And then after a certain amount of time, the timer resets, but it has to like reset down. It's like a timer up and timer down. Like every time the longer you have, you're waiting for the arrival. Like so, like if you if you have an Aurora and you claim it every 5 minutes, and eventually it'll be like an hour, wait time to get the new one. But if you have,
I feel bad for all the bad pilots.
But I mean, within reason, like with Aurora, you're not going to make tons and tons of money doing it, so you're not going to punish bad pilots for it. But you can easily do that, and then say you go, okay, finally, I figured out how to do it, and you're an hour in and you don't reclaim it at all for the entire time, then the timer just resets after like 30 minutes or an hour, so it's back to nothing. That's an easy fix as well, just bouncing timers. So
I would also argue that in Stanton, it's sort of a non-issue. It's a relatively small and populated system in that you can get a repair or a refuel or whatever anywhere. There's a lot better ways to make money, most likely. In Pyro, though, it will probably be more of a thing where you need salvage to survive and to get components to keep your ships running.
Yeah.
Um,
You make money,
but it'll be fun to play with. Salvage is huge to me. Like anything to do with like ship repair or deconstruction or whatever, like that's what I want to do in this game.
Munching.
the munch.
Munching to feed the race team.
All right. Next question comes from Fastcart, who asks, the hate the Merchantman's new look is receiving is surprising me. What does the cast think of the slogan, make the BMM great again, Kappa? Fastcart.
I hate it,
Uh,
but
I hate it.
I think the BMM is fine.
Yeah.
I like it. I like what they're doing with it.
looking at the original concept now, I'm kind of with CIG of how it needed to change, because when you look at the original concept art of the BMM, it looks a lot more like it should be a Van Duel ship than a Banu ship.
Points.
And
Agreed.
and I think the stylistic choice to change it to become a Banu ship that looks different was a great decision on CIG's part, because now the Banu style is going to be much more different than the Van Duel. I think, and I would love to see like a Van Duel merchant ship kind of stylized the same.
Transport.
But the original style of the Banu ship that's in that concept art looks a lot much more like a Van Duel ship than a Banu ship. And CIG really needed to find that Banu style. And now the BMM is the Banu style. That's going to be the Banu style. And I'm 100% okay with it. And I think it looks pretty great, even though it looks like a duckbill.
It looks like a duckbill, but I think people
I love DuckTales. Like, why would I be against that?
People forget that the reason why it's rounded in the front is because the Defender is also rounded in the front. Like, the general shape language of ships is humans are either bricks or triangles. Xi'an are circles.
Or vertical.
Or vertical. They're vertical circles. So
yes.
Or like spheres, vertical spheres. And Xi'an are smooth lines, so like they are the circles or the curved lines. And the Van Duel are spikes, like lots of points, like star almost. In terms of like
hard edges everywhere.
Hard edges.
And I would say earlier in Star Citizen's development, the Banu and the Van Duel specifically didn't have the biggest change in their style, in the sense that it felt like the Banu kind of didn't have their own style, and maybe they were relying on the fact that they're very they take things from all cultures, but the human style ship and all the other alien races had a much more distinct style than Banu until this more recent BMM work that has brought in a bit more. I can see its relation to the Defender, and I like where they're going, Banu style. That smoking pit in the middle of their barracks, love it. Awesome.
Yes, the Netflix
conversation pit. Yeah. It's amazing.
But yeah, I think it's fine. It's the ship itself is going to, and it's also important that it's in white phase or white box phase still, or it's still an early concept. So it's going to add greebles and other details to it. So the duckbill will always be there, but there'll be definitely other like impressions and other things added to it to make it less flat. So
yeah.
All right. Next question comes from HeyItsNick, who asks, was there a Star Citizen live yesterday? This is a question because someone else brought it up in chat, and I was like, this is so good to talk about this, because there wasn't. There was one scheduled. Yeah.
I was catching up on them yesterday because I've been sick for ages.
I worked a 13-hour shift yesterday, so I had no time at all to look at the internet yesterday. So I'm like, wait, there wasn't?
That's a good point. So 17 too soon?
Sort of. Yeah. The thing they specifically said, and this is important for those who don't know, Xylo reached out and said, hey, how would you feel if we moved SCL to being every other week? And then in replacement, having some sort of gameplay stream or something else. He was just spitballing ideas, as effectively was doing. He was talking with the community about it. And that means, and it's important for people to remember that at its core, SCL is not just an hour of time. The person who's involved in SCL, who's not Jared, has to do some setup beforehand and probably some time afterwards. It's usually a little bit more than an hour. So it's like 2 or 3 hours. And as anyone who's been on the captain's table can know, I'm pretty good at getting like between 30 minutes an hour for the conversations and between at like 30, 40 minutes and an hour and a half. But we do a lot more than that because we have time between the questions and answer sessions and the actual broadcast, and we have the preview, the setup for the audio and all that kind of stuff. So we actually end up doing about 4 to 5 hours worth of work for about maybe 2 hours worth of content. So with that, and I'm professional, and the people I'm talking with are, streamers and content creators usually. So they have their audio set up, they have their video set up, and we still have problems. So you can imagine how much time it would take for a developer who's not a content creator to set up a camera or to set up audio and get everything ready to go.
VTuber.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, she's easy now.
So those things can take some time. Like, I'd imagine it takes upwards of 3 hours for them to do those sorts of things. And that takes them away from developing, from working on the game. And what that Xylo's little pitch saying was telling me, as well as the fact that we missed SCL this week, is telling me that CIG is literally all hands on deck. Like, no, I can't spare 2 hours. I've got work to do.
Yeah, the fact that they can't spare 2 hours.
Yeah. And I'm also looking forward to see, because one of the biggest complaints I've seen from people, not recently, but it's one of those things that comes up every so often, is, does CIG even play their own game? And it'd be nice to see, show people like, yeah, they do. And
I would love it if they would if I wonder if they ever did like a gameplay live stream, if it would be like a dev build with all the bugs and they just show bugs and stuff.
Yeah.
And just show this is where the current dev build's at. This is so bad and hilarious.
Yeah. I love, everyone loves weird bugs. It's always fun to do, or weird workarounds and stuff. So.
Bug Smashers was like the biggest hit back then.
I loved
because we loved the bugs. It was hilarious when it's like, this isn't working the way it's supposed to. No. Yeah. It's like, as frustrating as it is for the developers, it's hilarious for us. We love it.
And I'd love to see Chris Roberts being shouted at by his kids playing the game live for an hour.
Oh yes, give us a Chris Roberts game dev stream with his kids.
The Roberts family game dev stream. That'll do that. So
can it be a cozy Christmas stream?
There we go.
Oh my God, no flashbacks, no.
To the 2016 live stream.
I don't mean that kind.
I still watch it every holiday season. I always watch the Star Citizen live stream, 2016 live stream, and I'm gonna start doing it with the community. So you can come join us in watching the worst holiday special CIG has ever done. All right.
I'm staying over there though.
No.
Well, ask that question there, though. Humech, once you answer this one, would you be okay with CIG doing, 1 week of SCL and 1 week of, say, gameplay? Kind of alternating?
Yes. Well, I wouldn't say obviously. I just mean like, yes, while I love SCL, sometimes it's definitely a filler week, or in the sense that some people just don't care about that side of the game. And if it's something that a lot of backers are wanting to see more of, then yeah, some gameplay from the devs would be great. I think a lot of us feel that we know the devs play the game and they mention it a lot, but like, I guess for some folks, they just kind of have to see it to believe it. So it would be interesting, especially if they put some sort of spin on it that only they can do. Perhaps like Nick was saying, the dev builds where they're super buggy. I don't know, but I'm for it. Why not?
Nick, what do you think?
Yep.
Yes.
You okay?
Love it. Concise.
Moving on. This is a good question. From Griffin Gaming RPG, who asks, did any of you attend the Bar Citizen World Tour? And if so, what was the highlight for you?
Can I show my highlight?
Yes, go ahead, Nick.
Show my highlight. I won. Gotta make sure it's the right way for you guys. This signed Grimhex art
Ooh.
by Chris Roberts.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Wow. That needs to be framed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm working on that. And as well, I had a personal moment with Benoit at a bar table where we just started drinking and talking server meshing because I used to be a programmer. I worked in cloud tech. We got really nerdy and everything. And he started whiteboarding this entire thing on server meshing right in front of me, on top of the disclaimer for this event is being recorded.
Okay,
And
Nick,
he just started whiteboarding. This is server meshing right here.
You need to
Matrix is in your hands.
You need to put that. You need to put that on social media. You need to take a picture of that and put it on social media. It's like I have the entire plans of server meshing.
I know how server meshing is going to work now. The fact that guys, did you know the game server is technically a client also? Like that's how the server meshing's working. Like what?
Yeah.
Love it.
Just blow your mind.
The funny part about that is that that's how they get Squadron 42 to work. So what they're doing is they're back tracing Squadron 42 because they had to get Squadron 42 where the game is you have a client, and then the game itself, the actual world, is also client. It's another client that you are then logged into.
Well, that's how most back in the day, like if you remember Modern Warfare 2 on the PS3 and Xbox 360, that's how pretty much every single PvP match, because that was a peer-to-peer game, and that's how literally every game started. If you were launching a multiplayer game, if it didn't find a host, if it didn't find a server, it would become a server. And then that server would communicate and find other players to join that server. And then if that host left, another player would become the host. And that's kind of how it's going to be working, just with a lot more complication.
So that's a highlight. That's a big highlight for you, I'm sure. The fact
that
I nerded right out.
I was able to go to the Austin Bar Citizen, and I will say my highlight was it's been 2 years since I've been to any events. So I walked in and like a handful of people started saying, "Is that the AstroPub?" And then like by the end of the night, there was like a gaggle of like 15 people being like, Paul. I'm like, I'm not used to this. How many of you people know my name?
I've actually had people come up to me. It's like, you look really familiar. I'm like, oh, I know why, but I'm not telling you. So I just kind of let people just stay, be like, do I know him? Like at the end of it, I just kind of left.
But it was also nice to see a lot of members from CIG staff who I haven't seen in a long time. Lots of folks who are now running a lot of the back end services, the like player feedback and the server architecture and the like prioritization, what gets changed, those sorts of things. So talking with those people was nice because there were a lot of them. Like one of them was one who I've known for a long time who doesn't sleep. He just doesn't know what the concept of sleep is, like period, because he works himself too hard. So
does he have like a condition? I have a friend who can't like actually sleep.
No. He can sleep. He's one of those guys that works. He doesn't know how to turn the brain off when it comes to work. So he's constantly on. And I was talking with him, and he's like, "Yeah, I finally got I got enough people where I can take a break. I trust my people that I can take a day off." And I was just like, "Good. You need days off.
Take that day off. Finally.
Yes. So. Go work on your, self-care.
A new project that you're going to be working on.
Humech, I know you haven't been able to go to the Bar Citizens quite yet, but I know you're planning to go.
No, I've literally never been to one because I am a super shy bean, but I am also like becoming more open to interacting with people. So yeah, I'm hoping to go to one soon. Some people at the beginning of the stream or before it or whatever were sending some links to some. So yeah.
All right.
I don't live anywhere near a CIG location, so
no.
I was like, I don't know if there are any over here.
Yeah, bar
Well,
citizens are starting to pop up like everywhere now. So definitely check like the bar citizen websites and everything. Because I know, for instance, the Seattle one's starting up soon. Toronto is setting one up for July 9th. I'll be attending that one. So there now now that the world event happened, we've set up bar citizens everywhere. Go look, go spread the word, go
mhm.
enjoy, party, have fun, and talk to other people and citizens.
It's nice just to have a handful of people too, because I've been to a lot of bar citizens, which is like 7 people, and
Yeah.
no staff, no CIG staff. Even though I'm here in Austin, they just didn't show up, so we just hung out and talked. I've been to like bowling alleys with Star Citizen fans and stuff. So it's nice to have that kind of community. So and it's one of those
Sounds
things.
good.
It's one of those things where if there are a lot of bar citizens out there that have been established for a while.
Yeah.
So you may have one in your town, you don't even know about it. So
It looks like I will be going to the Seattle one on the 13th or whenever that was. August
Nice.
13th.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing. CIG is going around to these events, so they're being shuttled around all over the U.S. and the world to some of these events. So you may see members of CIG, members of the community team there to hang out and talk. And if you do,
Love it.
if you see Jake, just make sure to say blame Jake. That's all, and just be like what? Blame him for everything.
Damn it, Jake.
Damn it, Jake. Want to make your job hard, Jake. That's all. All right. Next question comes from Del Ener, who asks, "What are y'all's thoughts about CIG making the event primarily PvE, while not completely shutting the door on PvP? Does the PvP community need more events?" Yes.
Yep.
They have Jumptown. That's nothing.
Only Jumptown.
Well, technically, they have a PvP PvE event with
Nine Tails.
the Nine Tails lockdown. Yeah, but
I feel
Yeah.
like we need to have that combined.
Wait in line town?
the Wait in Line Town. Yeah, Kumbaya Q Town. Yeah,
Yes.
There's
You're
no-
done.
there's no Q Town when I am there. There's no Kumbaya conga lines when I show up to Jumptown. Everyone is dying.
See a queue line. You see a queue line. I see a multi-kill.
Yeah, line of targets.
How many can I get with one?
But yeah, we definitely need more PvP events. I think we need more PvP FPS events. We need more PvP space events, and we need more PvP combined PvP events with space and ground. And I know the reason why they're heavily leaning into PvE because again, 9 out of 10 of the people you will see in the verse are going to be NPCs. So the likelihood
Important to build those systems.
yeah, and it's important
Really
to
important.
always to have events, even if there's a PvP event, to have some interaction, some level of pushback, because everyone can tell you that one of the most boring events is to go to a jump town and just have no one show up. Yeah, you can make a lot of money, which is nice, but like it's just moving boxes. So having some sort of PvP or PvE event is in there is always good. But we definitely need more PvP focused events. So.
Mm.
What do y'all think? What do you think, Humech?
Oh, I was agreeing with you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, I think PvP is very important to the game. And any sort of PvE event a PvP event that supports a little bit of PvE to keep the ball rolling is a nice little mix that should exist for sure. Perhaps with these reinforcement things, Jumptown could have if they notice that there's only 1 or 2 player characters in that region, they can actually have reinforcements come in and shake things up. So that would be cool.
That's my tinfoil hat theory, is that the reason why they've been working on reinforcements so hard is Squadron, but also because they want to add that to Jumptown. Because I remember them saying when they were first pitching Jumptown was that they wanted to add PvP or PvE elements, AI elements to it to make things a little bit more fresh because, when it gets dull.
And
so my thought is
probably plug Quantum into that for the, or Quanta into that for the figuring out if there are players there or not.
Yeah, and if they make Jumptown dynamically triggered by maybe certain inventory items you need or require, but if they make that dynamically trigger, then you're not going to be letting every single player in the server know that Jumptown's running. So unless players are looking for that mission at that time Like you're not probably not going to see a whole lot of players show up unless they all look at like, oh, now that because a lot of players are going to be in the middle of something, so it's not until they bring up their Moby Glass of like, oh, there's the drug lab's up now, we should go there. Versus when it's an event, everyone's waiting, everyone's got that announcement going on. I think once it becomes that dynamic event, you're going to need NPCs to kind of fill the gap of players, finally getting notified and showing up.
But we need something like that with like space. We need like something like that with like ground targets, or like a Siege of Orison, but with PvP, that kind of stuff too.
Yes.
But with some PvE elements. So I agree. Yes, Dalinar, we need more PvP events. Fastcart asks, anyone getting any games from the Steam summer sale?
I did.
What'd you get?
Forza Horizon 5.
Nice.
Nick? No.
No.
Nope.
I have to check it out.
And Gato Roboto.
I got Xbox. I got PC Game Pass, so I just
do that.
I just play games now. I don't buy them.
You just play them. Don't buy them.
Wow.
I'm trying to think.
The luxury.
There's some games that I have not played that I need to play. That I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool. Oh, the Deathwing or Space Hulk Deathwing, which is an older game. I need to get that, and I need to get the Vermintide 2. I played the original Vermintide, but like
I love Vermintide 2. I've played a lot of Vermintide 2. Yes.
I'm looking forward to Darktide, so I need to get those games and play them and just kind of get the swing of things. So,
is Darktide like a third of?
Is
a sequel to Vermintide 2?
It's Darktide is Vermintide, but set in the 40K Warhammer universe rather than the fantasy universe.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah. You play as a guardsman.
That's
a
up my alley. I need it.
I need it.
Yeah, it's a guardsman,
injected into my veins. Okay,
an Ogren or a priest, and you can fully customize your characters, and you just different classes. There's the 4 classes, and you can get like different cosmetic upgrades and all these other things like that. And it's just like Vermintide, where you go out and you do a mission, and then you come back and you can collect points, and you can use those for different bonuses and stuff like that. So, and it's all co-op.
Well, that's been off my radar somehow, and I need to go find it.
It comes out in September, so that's why I've been trying. Like, I need to get back into Vermintide. So.
Oh my god! Okay. Sick.
Wonder if that's going to come to Game
Pass. It might come to Game Pass.
It.
It's done by Fat Shark. So I don't know if they have relationships with Microsoft, but we'll see.
Maybe.
Like Hard Space Shipbreaker, that came out when it was finally released.
Yes.
In like the live.
Is it in Game Pass?
Yeah, that's on Game Pass. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Next question. I did not know indies were on that.
Yeah. Indie. It's not just Xbox first titles. There's a lot of games like Everspace 2's on there. Plague Tale, Riftbreaker, Injustice. There's like so many third-party games are also coming on a Game Pass now because they're just finding it such a profitable venture now.
Yeah, Microsoft's basically throwing money at indies, being like, let us use it for Game Pass, and they're like, yes, please.
Sick.
So
hell yeah.
Fastcart asks, anyone be like me and get another Last Minute Mule or Legionnaire? Is it still on sale? Are they both still on sale? I might.
If anyone wants to gift me one, I'll accept them, but I'm not buying one.
I'm not buying one either, but I would like to. I would like to own one.
Yeah, I'm not going to buy them for myself. I'd buy them for giveaways. But I think the Mule is one of those things that's like really underappreciated because a lot of people think, oh yeah, well it's kind of dumb. You're just loading and unloading two SEU of boxes. And the answer is yes, but in the future, you're going to have to use power to use your tractor beams. And so you're either going to, it'll be like, hey, do I want to carry a backpack full of charged batteries, or do I want to just drive a mule to do that?
So do I just want to use some hydrogen fuel to do this efficiently, or have a stockpile of batteries?
Yeah. All right. Second to last question. We have one more question after this, which is from Midnight Black SC, who asked, I found myself to be kind of underwhelmed by Alien Week this year. What are your thoughts? Humech, what do you think?
I have been so sick that I have not been able to pay attention to anything really about Alien Week or any of that. So I have no real intentions. I've been in bed like coughing and sneezing and dying and yeah, with a fat headache since last Friday.
I'm glad you're
I don't
better.
know. Thank you. Getting there.
Nick, what do you think?
I was kind of the same feeling where I was kind of underwhelmed. I felt like there just wasn't. I don't. There was nothing there that really made me go like, oh yeah, aliens. I like they didn't really show anything um of the alien races. They kind of just had skins, and
Mhm.
then yay aliens, here's some lore posts, figure these things out. And I was just like, I had no interesting of translating alien languages. For those people who did that, I'm sure they're very much very well invested and had a great time. But for me, who just likes to, you know, see things,
Mhm.
I was kind of very well let down. There was no new alien ship announced. I was kind of hoping for that. They just kind of did an update on the BMM and some skins, and I was underwhelmed. Understandably so. I know they're focused more so on development right now, and I'm not surprised they didn't throw in a new concept ship there. I understand why they wouldn't want to do that, and I'm okay with that. But it did feel very underwhelming
Mhm.
overall of an Alien Week. I feel like there really wasn't a real celebration of aliens in the verse.
Mhm. Yeah, it felt way. We're like year 3 of this. Like we've had 3 years of Invictus, and each of Invictus has been better than the last. They're doing a really good job. And then every year they've also done Alien Week, and this feels better than previous Alien Weeks, but I feel like we're kind of at the point where it's like, come on, make it an event, put it in game. Like I'm the lore guy. I love lore. I nerded out about the whole translation thing. But you know what would have been a lot cooler? Going to the Xi'an embassy on ArcCorp,
Yeah.
which has been confirmed in lore. There's a Xi'an embassy
Yeah.
on ArcCorp. Having if CIG had like an alien week, like first contact week instead of alien week, we should call it first contact week. And it's a celebration. You go to like some event in ArcCorp at where you can go see all of the different alien ships, and you can go like there's like a statue, or there's other like things of like aliens. I know we don't have aliens like physically rendered in the game yet, but having like some sort of representation, like like a an alien foods vendor, where it's like these vendors that have these exotic foods, so you can go try them out in game. Kind of like a cultural festival.
I
Like a
was gonna say some
fiesta.
sort of cultural exchange where you go into these little booths and it's like, this is how Bandu have breakfast, or they don't have breakfast, and this is why,
Yeah,
and this is how you would greet someone, or humans have weddings and this sort of thing. This is how the Xi'an treat this sort of interaction, just like a little diorama display for you to go look at. That would be
yeah,
fun.
like a picture or a diorama with some little
Yeah.
text, that kind of stuff. Those
I
would be
would
nice.
just Yeah, because one thing I just like, I'm still to this day looking forward to seeing an alien in game, and nothing at this Alien Week said we're going to be seeing an alien in game anytime soon.
Yeah.
So
No.
that every Alien Week I'm like, I just want to see that. I just want to see an alien rendered in game. If like we're working on it. It's not coming out anytime soon, but we're working on it. Just something like that. Just show me something other than a Van Duel in his Squadron 42 cinematic. Show me aliens walking around, just a walk cycle, and I'd be happy.
Yeah.
Or
Those things would be
translation in
nice.
game.
Yeah, or translation in game.
The translation thing did sound interesting to me. I could not focus on it or pay attention to anything that was going on, but like going through perhaps a cave or something like that and finding drawings on the side that an alien that got lost down there or something. You're trying to actually figure out like what happened to this person, rather than climbing around finding a body, searching it, and going, okay, there's my job or whatever. But like
Yeah.
actually trying to figure out their story, which then takes you to another place within the world. That would be a real useful and entertaining thing to do.
Yeah. Another
Yeah.
really interesting thing they could do with the translation thing, is they could really have an investigation mission of like, hey, something happened here. We need you to go collect the information here. And then you get there and you realize the data pad is in Banu. It's like, well, we need you to translate this text for us. Can you do that? And then they could just have the player type in what the message is, and if it's a certain percentage correct, be like, yeah, that's what it means.
And then it'll show up the HUD. Like,
And
you won't know the next stage until you've translated the message, and so you have to like know what it
exactly. Like,
says.
it's like you can't go next until you translate this message to pass a certain percentage of completion.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that'd be a cool little in-game thing they could do with it too.
Yeah. I think I know why CIG hasn't done it, because they're so busy right now with everything they got to get done.
It's understandable as heck. It makes sense.
Yeah. Especially it's like 2 weeks after
Alien Week has potential.
Week. Yes.
Next Alien Week.
Next Alien Week. I think it has, next Alien Week could have a potential, even for a little small thing, because with this latest lore kind of translation from the Xi'an message, we know that there is a Xi'an embassy or consulate on ArcCorp. So if there's a Xi'an consulate on ArcCorp, you could easily, that's the permanent location. They have a big festival for a week where you go into the Xi'an consulate. You can check out all of the ships. They'll have it on in the garage or whatever, and you can go do alien cultural exchange. You don't even have to have aliens in game. It's just like the consulate, because everyone knows who's worked in a consulate. They have foreign nationals who work in those consulates as security guards or as maids or as guides. It's not
or even literally just sitting at a bar and not doing anything except looping a single animation. I would be happy with just that.
Alien.
Seeing an alien in game.
Yeah. And Shady says it's next to Astro Armada, so it's perfect. So you can just say they work with Astro Armada, and you have Astro Armada have a floor where they're showing off all the ships and whatever. So you can kind of go there.
Replace the Hawk with a Cartual or something for the week.
For the week. Yeah. All right. Next question comes from, or the last question comes from Midnight Black SC, who asks, Siege of Orison is the PvE event now, but what happens when we can gain rep with Ninetales? Will there be objectives for criminals to push back the goody two-shoes? Will the criminals have a mission chains that might end and result in an event starting? Yes.
Eventually, yep.
I think CIG has got teams together to build these events as templates. So the Siege of Orison could easily be transferred over to the Siege of Lorville, or the Siege of Microtech, or the Siege of ArcCorp. It's just they got to change.
ArcCorp would be cool.
They just got to change the mission parameters. They just got to change the location, and that would be difficult, but it wouldn't be impossible. Or, the Siege of Ruin Station. You could easily map some of this stuff onto other locations. You just need to kind of, once you've had the basis of it, just the objective, go here, do this, do that, do this, and change things up. We see that with box missions. Box missions are all the same thing, but there's slightly different variations on the same formula. And I think we'll start seeing that in the near future with the events. Go ahead, Humech.
Criminality is important to CIG. They will build it and support it. It's more of a, let's get this feature in, let's make it happen. And most people, it seems, play on the good side anyway, even if they had a choice. But the criminality there's a lot of CIG staff that like to play as criminals. So it's going to happen. It's not being ignored.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's just it's not a priority right now, because there needs to be a lot of other things added, like persistence and such. I think that's the other big thing, is that persistence is really needed. So
especially to have that push-pull, because it's right now we're just earning money and there's NPCs, but it's until we have real established rep and systems going on, then there won't be that difference of, I made this money from this system. This money is distinct, and so is all this rep. We don't have those systems built up.
Yeah. Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I think the repetition is going to tie into other future missions and triggering other missions for PvP, and it'll let you choose which side you are on based on just the reputation you have. I mean, that'd be great. Like going into the Siege of Orison, if you have negative rep, well, then you're going to be getting the mission through Ninetales and going to be going against players. If you're on the Ninetales side, you just got a rep with Crusader Security, then you'll be going in on the actual the Crusader Security side to help defend it. But I think but also at the same time, they could also be specific missions where it's just it's only one side or the other, because this event isn't allowing anyone from this reputation to have access to it. So that's a whole other thing too that could happen, but those could be more so the smaller events leading up to the bigger ones. But it's all going to be dynamic. It's all going to be procedural. It's all going to be fun eventually. Just a matter of when.
Yeah.
Just a matter of when. It's all when questions, and they don't answer when questions.
Nope. Yeah, I think the other thing to remember is that a lot of what they're waiting for are things like server meshing and persistence and quantum, and all of those are being worked on actively. But once those are finished, they can start iterating a lot of this stuff, because we've seen that in the past with ships and with missions and with planets. They can do the turnaround once they have the bases in. So. All right. That was the last question. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you to Humech and HeyItsNick. Make sure you're following them on their social medias. HeyItsNick on Twitch, Humech on Twitch, and it's Humech Dame on Twitter. And Hey, this is Nick. Is that right? On Twitter?
Yes.
Go check out their content. They're fantastic. And if you would like to join us live and watch the Ask Your Own questions for these things, we do these Captain's Tables at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern on Saturdays. And remember, just as a reminder, please sure to hit that subscribe button down below and hit the little notification button so it'll let you know when things come out, because this is a new channel. So do that. And like I say every time, hope to see you someday in the black. I forgot to switch my my OBS or my Stream Deck. So it's going back to the old one. There we go.
There we go.